Greetings, this is Chester with the Sampleist, and our sonic journey today is Native Instruments Schema Light. Before we dive in, I'd like to make it crystal clear that the copy of this library we're reviewing was graciously provided to us by the developer. However, let me assure you that our commitment to delivering honest and transparent reviews remains unwavering. Our goal is to arm you with all the information you need to decide if this library deserves a spot in your musical toolkit. Schema Light by Native Instruments marks a significant innovation in the realm of music production tools, offering a unique sequencing engine that enables composers and producers to weave captivating melodic patterns and textures with ease. At the heart of this instrument lies an explorative and creative potential, utilizing a rich palette of sounds including bells, keys, plucked strings, xylophones, and more. This tool stands out by providing a 4-layer engine that allows users to craft immersive sequences, enriching many musical projects with lush, shapeable layers. Schema Light's kaleidoscopic collection of soft, layerable upper range loops is encased within an intuitive plugin designed to foster quick generation of evolving patterns that users can make distinctively their own through a suite of effects and controls. Delve into delicate sounds that have been enriched and fine-tuned, making Schema Light ideal for atmospheric film scores, electronic soundscapes, and hypnotic hip-hop beats. The core of Schema Light, its unique 16-step sequencer, invites users to start with 4 tempo sync loops spanning across 2 bars, toggling up to 16 steps for each layer to create distinctive melodic patterns. This flexibility, combined with the ability to add expression via the mod wheel and explore advanced scaling possibilities with the enhanced engine, ensures whether you're seeking rapid results or hands-on sculpting, Schema Light offers an intuitive interface suitable for any workflow. Schema Light has released with an introductory offer of $99 until February 21st, 2024. Then it will be available at $149. The library is supported by both the free Contact player as well as any version of 7, 8, or higher of Contact. Download size is 2.5 gigabytes of hard drive space, NKI compatible. It comes with 320 sound sources and 200 snapshots. Let's now explore the presets this library has to offer. Schema Light. Look at it in all its glory. True vision here. This is a fun instrument to kind of dive into, especially when you kind of get such a fun, interesting interface. It's very simple. Not a lot of diving into, even when the menus are there, pretty easy to navigate and a lot of fun to be had here, especially when you have dice everywhere. It always helps get things moving, get the ball rolling. Well, let's begin. We'll start looking at some of these presets. Now, I know these say chord, so let me help you out here. When we start diving into chords, we're not playing chords. It's not how the instrument works. In fact, I'll try to play a chord here. You're going to notice it's going to start with the 3 and then it's going to just go to 1. This is a monophonic instrument. You have to take my word for it. I held the chord down on the keyboard and it went right to the A. So last note played. When you perform this instrument, just make sure you're holding down the one key and you'll do great. The best way I can communicate it is chordal sequences. We have 4 layers and you see the 4 colors in a wheel here. Notice how some of them will be removed as well. So if I mute these others for just real quickly and we have chaotic formula, notice that we're going to hear 2 snippets or slices of this loop. We're not going to hear anything. We're going to hear it for 3 slices. Not going to hear anything in this step sequencer. Right? And then when we bring in the green, notice that it's playing throughout. This introduces the concept of polyrhythms, as each of them play against each other in time. It's pretty fantastic. And all I'm just doing is holding a note. Same here. Now we're going to introduce rusty plucking D, and that's going to do And then we have Oregon, 1964. Another thing that makes this so powerful are these layers down here. Put your attention to where my mouse is with these layers. We have 4 colors here, 4 dots, just like we have the 4 layers. If I start the mod wheel all the way down, we're only hearing the red one. And then as I bring it up, we're going to start adding the layers, blending them in. Until we get to the top, all 4 of them are now playing. This provides another ability for you to control how these layers play. So when we go over the demo piece in the future, I use this quite a bit to kind of change up the loops and the sequences as they're being played. Let's go to another preset, clocking amps. Let's try that out. When you lift a key up, and you get your finger off your keyboard and you press the key down again, it will start over again. So you do have control of that resampling or that restart. And you can use that to your advantage as you play this instrument. It can also get a little hairy too, so you just gotta make sure you're on time. Let's do another one here. Late chords. What you'll notice is, as we keep playing through these presets, not a lot of low end, not a lot of dark sounds or textures. These are very plucky, metallic, up more higher range in the frequency, pitched textures and loops. So you can get some keys, some percussive elements in your textures and your loops as you're kind of playing these out. Makes for this instrument to be a really fantastic layering instrument. What's also great about it is the ability to form to a scale with the scale engine. You can pick a key, so I'm going to pick B here, and then you can also set several types of scales, which is fantastic. So we won't go with major and minor. We typically do, and in the piece later I will be playing minor, but let's just go Hero Joshi, which is a really awesome scale, very melodic, and it probably would sound very fantastic with these elements. And what this is doing is I'm only going to play the white keys, and you're going to see that it will automatically conform to the scale for me. If I don't know the Hiro Joshi scale, it'll play it. This lock here, all that just really means is if I click lock, I can now choose, we'll choose one more chord. It stays. And it does not change this. That's what the lock means. If I want it to change, I can unlock it. And now whenever I select something, it'll go away. Now we're at B chromatic. Awesome. Moving on, we're going to look at these melodic presets. Now's a great time to mention that it does tempo lock to your DAW. So I'm going to play a sequence and I'm going to adjust the BPM, and you're going to hear how changing the BPM of my DAW, it'll stay locked in. So as I slowed it down from 120 to 75, now it's playing at 75. And if I want to speed it up, let's say I go up to 160, play it at 160 now. I'll bring it back down. I'll just go to like 100. And and it locks in. Down here, we have some ability to set some macro knobs. So we have filters, tails, which tails is impacting the decay of each slice. Gate will interact with the volume of each slice. And then tuning impacts the pitch of each slice. Now, when I turn these knobs, notice that nothing really happened. We are going to dive in here and I'm going to show you how you can change that and you can make that work for you. It's just the presets just getting set up that way. Then these other two are return effects. They have the power buttons next to them so I can turn them on or off with ease. They are a little bit different in their impact over here. We're going to talk about that in a bit. Try another one. Let's do Brave Cat. Now the dice are always fun to press, so I'm going to click them once. Changes everything on this preset. So we don't have Brave Cat anymore. We have something entirely new and fresh and unique for us. If I expand on this, I have the ability to kind of control how this randomize happens. So I can decide if I want to randomize my sounds, which are the sounds that we can pick here in our layers, the slices of our layers and the way they play, or the steps of the layers. I can randomize any of those. So if I want to say the noise, maybe I want it to do something different. I can keep the noise. I'll say maybe I like that, but let's change the steps. And then I can remove these other layers by clicking on them. And now when I hit the dice, I will only affect the steps of germanium noise B, which is that blue. So I get more control on the way I randomize. I can also randomize up here too, but that's going to randomize the sound. Then down here, of course, I have volume, and this is global. All these macros are global, actually. They would impact all four. Let's try another. Let's do clocks. One thing I'll note about this whole entire instrument is you're not going to hear any pads. You're not going to hear any held notes. Everything is a sequence. That's just kind of the instrument itself. Now, if I wanted to, I'm going to turn these off for a second. I'm going to look at red, chaotic formula B. Let's just say that's too bright for me. Maybe the resonances are too out in front and I want something that blends in a little more. I can click kind of anywhere in here. I can click on the magnifying glass or the name itself and it takes me to a menu. If I kind of know where I'm going, I can go forward and backward here, or I can randomize all together. And what's funny is I would like that sound. That's not as resonant. I believe it would probably blend in a lot better. So in that case, random worked for me pretty well there. There's 312 different loops here for layers. So the odds were in my favor here. That doesn't happen very often. But let's say I don't want this piano anymore. Maybe I wanted something that's more of a mallet. And that's what's fantastic about this. I can filter down and try this fragile mallet. I can go in here and I can look for something. Now that's a little more sharp. And it doesn't have the same resonances that I was looking to get rid of. So I might choose that. Or maybe if I want noise. I can't preview the sounds. I have to kind of play them and perform them. So that's why I usually keep everything off. Like I had it before, but and then you perform this and you can kind of hear things out. It'd be nice to be able to preview these. All right, I'm just going to go with this in light of time. We have our sound. Next over, we can decide the settings or the way it performs. And up here, I can have 3 different versions of it. These are kind of like your pattern presets, and I can save and load some too. I can choose all, simple, complex, and I can do like 3/4, 5/4, 7/8. Let's just try 7/8. Let's save that and say that's what I want. Boom. And I've made the update I needed to make. That's pretty easy. There's not a lot of menus to dive into. I'm going to do one more here. Notice all the options. You get a lot of options here in the presets. Another way we can edit these. I'm going to leave that one. Let's go over here. Yeah, let's edit this one. I have to click the pie here, or that icon of the layer itself, and I get into a new menu of options and ways to adjust these patterns for these layers. And so I have 3 different slots for these, and they are triggered down here on these keys. Notice when I click them, they change. These 2 here will change the direction. Notice I click backwards and forward, and that's the direction of the sequence. So it'll either go left down or right up. I can also do these presets here, which is pretty awesome that they just give you a bunch to choose from, or you can go random, here. Now that's randomizes the slices. So notice that it does randomize the ones that are playing too. This, I believe, just randomizes the pattern. All right, we can adjust the length of the sequence. So I can go down to 1, 2, 4, 7, play it that way. I can click edit here, and if I want to switch the slices, I can do that. I can preview them. I wonder if it's off, why we don't hear it. But actually, it probably could be the instrument. So it wasn't a very loud instrument. Or we can do a question mark. Let's keep looking and diving in to see maybe the volumes are down. They look to be all the way up, actually. All right, so we have cutoff, and when we see down here, we have these filter knobs, right? Filter, tail, gate, etc. I can adjust the way I want all these filters to be. In fact, I'm going to switch this to something we can hear. Let's just do that. Now, if I go to cutoff here, I can have some cutoff presets. See how they're all kind of set up for me, and that's really great. This slur option, if I turn that on, that smoothens out the changes. So when it goes from 20 to 98 hertz, 20 kilohertz, 98 hertz, which is a huge, massive jump. Between these two, it's going to try to slur it out the best it can. You can change filter type. I think there's 3. Yeah, there's 3 options. And then I can also add some resonance. Now, when I use this, we didn't quite hear it before, and that's because likely you adjust that here, but that's what these up-down arrows are. I can set this anywhere I want it to be, and that's how this will impact. It impacts based on how that's set for each of these. So if you get this all going based on what this is set, that will impact kind of how it's set up. Solo mode here will allow you to, which I think is a great feature, and I'm really happy to see it. If you click on it, it solos it. Only this layer. If I turn it off, everything plays. So you can really hone in on and focus on this sound while you're working. That's a really great feature. Decay is the tails. So again, you can set this another way, or you can set your presets here. Length is impactful in all of it. So that's why you don't see me playing with it too much anymore. You can do the same with volume, get some gate going. And then pitch. You can also update some pitch. So if you want like a ARP melody, you can also slur that. Tempo, over here on the playback options, we can go halftime. So halftime of the tempo that we have, we can go normal. Or double time, you can make it go faster. As far as rest goes, if there's a rest in there, it will either skip or it'll play the rest. Play direction, you can go forward or backwards or ping pong. Sample direction, you can go forward or reverse. So it'll play it in reverse. That's what you need, and that's what we're going to hear in the next time we get it. And then you can impact the sends right here of this layer. All right, let's go into reverses here. Now that you've seen how you can edit each of these layers on their own, you can start hearing that we've reversed in this preset, bad signal, it's reversed some of the layers. Or all of them. And they've been set up, yes, you can impact them. With these macros. If we move over here, we have a mixer where we can now, again, engage or disengage the layer. You can set the levels, you can set panning, and you can also update how you want them to go out. If you have contacts set up to have different outputs, you can set them up through here. Let's do another reverse, marimba reverse. Let's try that. Let's do a different key too. We'll go F minor. And then effects here, like we mentioned, you can do two type of return effects. You get some options. You can do convolution reverb, the delay, the algorithmic reverb. Select that. We can select chorus, phaser, or flanger. You get two options here. Choose wisely, and then you're all set to go. If you do choose convolution reverb, just know that you have a bunch of presets available to you that you can select any of these, and then you, like all the other options, have a couple knobs that you can update. And kind of dial in what you're looking for as far as that effect goes. This final one here is kind of how the mapping of the instrument can be. So you have the layers kind of set up here. You have the direction of how you're playing, and then you have the three patterns that you can have set up and get that all kind of going, and you're good to go. Let's look at the single note, which confuses me a little bit, these presets, because I feel like I'm using a single note each time I'm playing, but I think ultimately what it means is the outcome of the preset and what you're going to listen to is a single note sequence rather than chords or any other thing. They're slicing single notes. And then you can use this octave here. I don't have a keyboard that's big enough for that, so I'm going to be kind of clicking around here, but this gives you some playability of the instrument and how you're kind of going in real time. So if you feel like performing any of your pieces or parts in one of your songs, you can use those to your advantage and kind of perform it out a little bit. Let's do one more single note here. Quantum power. Awesome. So those are the presets. It's kind of Schema Light from a UI perspective. Let's now hear how it works in a song. titled song. We're in BPM of 80. Thought that felt pretty good for a nice little hip hop like trap beat. We're in D minor. We started with Schema Light. It was this idea, I believe. We have the Cooking Night preset. I don't think I changed too much on it. Just kind of let it play out. But notice the layers here. I do have automation on this. So that kind of helps bring out some of the layers during certain moments. I liked how that sounded, so I opened up Machine, made a kick snare pattern. Not in Machine in Ableton, but trying to think what, I think Young Phantom grabbed a kit from there, and we ended up with this. Right, got that going. I do realize now that I don't have a groove kind of going. I would usually add some MIDI groove. This is straight to the grid, the kick and snare, and maybe I would add some ducking or compression or anything like that, side chaining. And not today, but maybe if I had a little more time. I kind of use this as an exercise for kind of getting a song out real quick, but making all the elements kind of work. With that said, I got a hi-hat. Grabbed a loop and it fit the song really well, so I went with that. Then added the crash. And I always usually add like a delay or something like that, ping pong, and have it go left, right. So found the perfect sample for that. That worked out. From that point, I kind of heard like that right there, that moment. There's space in the loop from Schema Light. And I said, let's fill that in. And we ended up with this. Again. Again, we're modulating the layers, and I have circle dance here. I did switch the key and scale. Don't think I really needed to. I was hitting all the notes, but just did it just to be safe. So we have that going, but there was actually a step I missed intentionally to explain. You'll notice that the MIDI here is very similar for this other idea. So the Schema Light, this preset called Analog Time, it was very busy, kind of too busy for this idea. There was enough idea here that kind of moved this over, and I found something else that kind of fit it better. But I felt this idea was really cool with the beat. And that kind of fit, so I kind of give it like a B section or a different kind of part of the song. Then I believe this idea came next. Let's add everything we've done so far. And then deft lines. These are just really close voiced kind of chords in D minor, just to give a new sound kind of all together. And I went with Native Instruments, deft lines, and the games patch. And then I also went with deft lines for a bass line, and the bass line is an 808 that's just following kick pattern to a T. Just an 808 that's following that. At that point, I added this, which was a reverse that goes with this. And I added a spread, this shred spread that spreads it out in the stereo spectrum even more. This allows for the analog synth to stay in the center, and then this kind of spreads out a bit. And then I auto pan it as well. I added this, which follows the bass line. It's just a descending kind of idea in D minor. we have all of these kind of effects. Nothing crazy here. Just some sounds that are going with it. Risers, we have long ones, short ones, and a big impact here. And then a vocal sample that gets us into each part. And the vocal sample is doing exactly what that effects is the ping pong back and forth. Then I needed an intro and outro, so grabbed a drum loop and then added a few more Schema Light ideas. I think it started with this one. Yeah. Wanted some melodic movement. Found this. Kind of do the job. Get it started. Then I have, I believe, a reverse to go with it. Kind of underneath it. And then this chord idea. Provide some good movement. Same chord idea that plays here. For some continuity. We go back to that intro, outro type of idea, and we have a song. And that was the Schema Light jam we made. It's time to wrap up our journey with some final reflection. Schema Light is another fantastic offering and brainchild of Tobias Menguzer, a seasoned sound and instrument designer with a legacy in the music industry as well as sampled instruments. This collaboration with Native Instruments brings forth an instrument that encapsulates a curated collection of 200 carefully designed presets, each inviting seamless experimentation and the discovery of happy accidents through its sound sources that can be quickly swapped and previewed. With 4 layers offering endless options and the ability to shape sounds in a deeply personal way, Schema Light empowers music creators to journey deep into sound design. The possibility to adjust filters, envelope, volume, and pitch for each of the 16 steps, experiment with polyrhythms, and add character with studio-grade effects makes this instrument a powerful ally in the production process. In conclusion, Schema Light stands as a beacon of creativity and innovation in the music production landscape, with its introductory offer making it even more accessible until February 21st. It represents a valuable addition to any composer or producer's toolkit, whether it's for crafting atmospheric film scores, electronic soundscapes, or chart-topping hip-hop beats. Schema Light by Native Instruments is a comprehensive instrument that offers limitless possibilities in the realm of music creation. This is Chester signing off from the Sampleist, and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you're hungry for more insightful reviews, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to stay tuned with all things the Sampleist. Until our paths cross again, keep having fun making your music. Cheers.